Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X. Although, saying that, it depends how well this goes, whether it will be returned to, or rather, tried to return to. Would usually have the intro, play, but yeah, what can you do? It's been months. And last time I used this, it was on my old laptop, which lasted several years before its hard drive finally started to give out. I've switched to a better laptop now, but on the downside, well, you can see it's an upside, depending how you look at it. I haven't got my old capture card set up on it. It's like, but that thing's a piece of crap anyway. It's just, I'm kind of not very experienced in using the better capture card with pretty much like any console that doesn't, have HDMI. It's like PS4, piece of piss to set up. PS3, bit of a pain in the ass because you need the HDMI adaptive thingamabob splitter. And then with consoles like this, you gotta have the AV to HDMI converter, which I haven't really used all that much. And this is probably the second recording I think I've ever done with it. I remember doing that for one part of the Wind Waker LP, and the quality was a bit odd. It looked darker than it usually would. I guess it's because it's directly linking up the capture card quality to my TV that it's a lot more noticeable for me here as well. But I know I had to put up the contrast a bit because it just looks dark for some reason. It's like it doesn't look like how it usually would. And I've noticed there's like a kind of weird blurry white line going straight down on the right. I'm not sure if that's going to appear in the final recording. If it does, I'll try to see if I can edit it out just by the side, but I'm not sure how that'll work because I'm currently using Shotcut because I don't have Camtasia anymore. So I still haven't got used to editing in Shotcut because it's not the most simple kind of editing software. I mean, it's got a lot to it, but it's clunky and takes a bit of getting used to, because with Camtasia you could just click on one option and just drag the screen to the side. Simple as that. With Shotcut, it's probably somewhere in the filters. Well, actually, I know it's like I was able to I remember doing something like that with Shotcuts. When fittingly enough, I inserted a clip from this LP into my White Day LP. I'd insert the clip in that kind of way where I kind of had to gradually move the video over another video of the White Day LP so that it'd be small and on the screen or completely not on the screen. So I know it's possible to do that, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Anyways, on to another pain in the ass. Let's go fight Penance again. At this point, this LP is probably about as long as it took them to make the game. It's insane. It's like the original plan I had, before my laptop started to fail, was to, use the old capture card to continue recording, but what I would do was I was going to, just off-screen, just, sometimes record and play the game fighting Penance without commentary, just to do that every now and then eventually hopefully I defeat it, then I'll put in the post commentary and then we can move on. Unfortunately, that's not how this is going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them on 3 times in this session. I say this session because this might not actually be a final recording for it, because if we don't defeat Penance, well, I don't know if I'd have it as a part on its own because, well, I might, but it would be pretty repetitive to have how many parts has it been? I mean, they're spread out through a couple of years now, like 2 years maybe. So there'll be like 3, 4 parts, maybe even 5 parts in a row just fighting Penance and getting nowhere. That would suck. But anyways, I haven't played this game in ages, as you can probably tell. It was a pain in the ass setting up the PS2 because I forgot where the bloody AV leads were. They were like still connected to the old capture card. Am I prepared? I'm not prepared. I am so not prepared. Wait. Lulu's got a space to move. Well, Lulu, I don't think I'm really gonna use it in battle, but... Hey, spear grid time, remember that? That was fun. Man, this would be so much easier to record for if I had played the remastered version. It'd be easier to set up, and it probably would look better, but maybe, I don't know. The PS2 version is the one I played, and it's got its charm.
You're counting on you, kid.
We're counting on you, kid, to not die this time. Oh wait, kid, you forgot. Ah shit, you forgot, kid. You forgot to set up the formation. You were too focused on the spear grid, you forgot the basics. Ah, it just looks weird. Yeah, the quality is odd. It's like, I mean, I can see it on the TV and I can see it on the capture card, so it's probably gonna pick up on the recording. You can just see it kind of stuttering there. I don't know what's causing that. In my mind currently, I'm thinking maybe it's like a translation issue, but you know, in terms of, you know, leads and stuff like that. Like HDMI to AV cable is like, you have to go through quite a bit of translation going on there. It's like different languages.
You're counting on you, kid.
And the AV cable, it was like, I don't know what this HDMI is, and this HDMI is, I know you, you are a relic of the past, I am the future, until something else better comes along and replaces me and I become like you! Oh.
Yeah, here we go!
It probably is, I'd imagine, I don't know. I don't know about all stuff like that. I didn't even know that those leads were even called AV leads until like a few years ago. I just knew them as the leads that all consoles seem to have that you plug into the side or back of the TV. That's all I knew. Penance. We meet again. I hate you so much. You have caused me so much frustration, annoyance, and, well, that's about it, really. Boy, where do I even begin? I don't think we can delay him at all, and it's a bad idea to do that because I'll waste a turn. I don't think, no. Well, we can mug him at least, so there's that. Could have just, you know, hit the overdrive, but So, as I said, I'm gonna fight him 3 times. First time, I'm gonna try and do this legit. And considering it's been a long time since I last played this game, that's not gonna go very well, is it? You just hit one arm. You could have hit the other arm too, you know. Dick. It's just like, how am I a dick for not destroying this? Well, I don't know what the hell it was. I vaguely remember the combination that I was using. What was it? It's just like, no, I know what it was. I'm just trying to freaking find where it is. Yeah, I've got past it. Where is that bloody thing? It's been a while, you know. I know there were lunar curtains involved. Where's that hourglass? I think it was an hourglass, right? Hourglass. Wait, what? Where is it? Where is it? Am I just overlooking it each time? I must be, because I'm pretty sure I stopped up on. My god, you can tell it's been a long time since I recorded. Well, no, it's... I remember where it's called, it wasn't actually. Where was it though? Oh man, this is bad. This is off to a bad start. Oh wait, it's down here somewhere actually. Is it amulets? Let me just check, yeah, it's gotta be amulets. That's gotta be the one. Hyper Mighty G, I remember! The super duper recipe that's only partially good because he destroys us all the freaking time. Which one was the one that did? It was Tornado, those 2 hits. God damn, I gotta remember this combination now. Please don't be any shoulder buttons. Fuck. Well, I got it anyway. Take booze! I think that only did 1 hit though. No, it doesn't. Obliteration! This is what I hate about this boss. Not only is it ridiculously overpowered, but it's got the most obscene amount of HP, and it also freaking regenerates his arms, and its arms cast regen and shit. It's the most obnoxious fucking boss you could ever possibly encounter. I hate it so much. I don't think... I mean, I looked at that, didn't I? Yeah, delay will only delay us. I mean, what's even the freaking point? Might as well just mug the bastard instead. Now that's the annoying thing. I mean, even his arms can bitch slap you in just 2 hits if you're at full health, and 1 hit if you're not. Then that move, that's usually, you know, would... Oh my god, already? I mean, gravity-based magic is supposed to, you know, take away a certain amount of your HP. It's not meant to wipe you out, you know? It usually just, like, knocks you down a peg or 2, or 100 or and 2, you know? But doesn't tend to, you know, be fatal, but when freaking Penance uses it, it's always fatal. And look at this shit. It is the most bullshit fight. It's like I said, I remember seeing like thumbnails of videos of people beating Penance but not actually watching them. And they're like 40 minutes long. So, you know, even if you somehow luck it out and strategize and gone the best equipment, you're still looking in for a 40-minute fight with this bastard. It's insane. I mean, on this channel I've LP'd Final Fantasy 8 and 9, and in those games I defeated their, you know, strongest bosses, no problem. I mean, I remember Ozma, I think it was called, in Final Fantasy 9 being kinda tough, but I managed, you know? You know, I suppose one thing that helped with Final Fantasy 8 and 9 when I LP'd them, it's because that it was on an emulator. I could just speed the game up while level grinding them, you know, make life a little faster freaking doing that stupid leveling up shit. Here I gotta do it all in real time, and it sucks. And the leveling doesn't quite work in this game the same way as it does in ours, because, you know, you got the spear grid. You just like, you've got all these empty nodes, you can just insert whatever you want. Well, I say there's all these ones, there's not many left. Well, let's see, there's a few scattered here and there. And I could, you know, just like go on stats like this, remove the node, and then replace it with a better version so I get magic plus. Actually, let me just. What does increase? I've got a few of those somewhere. Magic. Well, it doesn't say, does it? Well, actually, I could just put it right there to demonstrate. Let's not do it with magic because I've only got one. So let's see what stats you actually have. Yeah, you're pretty much maxed out on bloody everything. I mean, Jesus Christ, I guess magic would be the only thing to give an example there, other than luck. But we got a luck one! I think, yeah, we do. I can't remember what monster in the arena drops these though, so let's actually go to a different character. How about you, Kamari? And look, everyone is just freaking maxed the fuck out, and we still stand no chance. It's obscene. Obscene, I say, obscene. Obscene how freaking overpowered that bastard is. Oh yeah, it's because we got defeated and didn't actually technically pick up this one right here. Which is bullshit. Oh yeah, you see it right there actually. Magic plus 4, that's one where I put a node. Plus 40 it would be 20 regularly, and plus 4 would also be 2 originally. But sometimes there are ones that are just naturally 4 though. Like as you can see, I've like, you know, placed shit around and all that. It's just that, you know, it doesn't matter how good your stats are. Your equipment also matters, and, you know, luck. I said luck matters too. Not just as a stat, I imagine. But more like you've gotta get lucky in this fight, because this fight's bullshit. Anyways, gonna try 2 more times in this recording. Gonna try the Penance. Wait, no, the Yojimbo strategy again. So like, if I can defeat him with Yojimbo, fair enough, but I do like want to legitimately defeat the bastards. It wouldn't feel right, it wouldn't feel complete unless I defeat this bastard legitimately, which is part of the reason why I have grown to loathe this LP in a sense with that. Everything else was going fine up till then, even the Dark Aeons, or the pain in the ass, weren't nearly as bad as Penance.
You're counting on me, kid.
But if I do decide to do that, it'll probably be a bonus part after the LP is concluded. Because really, we should have just moved on to the freaking ending and then did this side quest shit, because it's like, it's really kind of like put a spanner in the works of the plot, hasn't it? It'd be like, well, we'll go to the final boss and be like, wait, where did we leave off? It's been like 2 years.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
I can't even remember, honestly. I know last year, like at the end of last year, I fought Penance one more time, and I think the year before I did something similar, but I think the year before might have been the one where it still had a few parts earlier in the year, but I can't really remember. Penance. You know what? While he's doing it, while everyone's just doing a dramatic pose of, you know, bring it on. Let's see. I'm actually doing a YouTube search for my own video rather than doing it in my own, you know, videos, because it would still take a while to find it, because, well, actually I could have done it that way. I could just type in, you know what, I'm actually gonna do that, screw that. It's, actually, what, oh, there it is. Final Fantasy... Oh, that's neat actually. It actually is popped up with it actually displays them when you type it in. So the previous part was 15th of December last year. The part before that was 28th of August 2018, and 2018 seems to be the year where I fought the Dark Aeons, because while I see Penance in a total of 4 videos, 5 videos including this, and below that is the Dark Magic Sisters, so that obviously indicates I fought the Dark Aeons back in 2018, so it's been 2 years. But how long has it been since the first part? Part 1, not 100, part 1. That doesn't help at all! It's because I've literally gotten to part hundreds. We're in the hundreds now, so typing that in makes no bloody difference. I still have to scroll a bit just to freaking get to it. Jeez. Man, that's a lot of paths. Where is it? Oh, come on, it's even showing... It's showing every part of the LP, oh fuck it. I'm gonna freaking have to search it through the old-fashioned way here, because it's more of a pain in the ass to search for my own videos. As a 10... and... Oh yeah, the first result that comes up for me is part 44. We gotta type in part 1 then. I actually haven't seen how many videos I've got, because I've got so many videos. It doesn't actually display the number, but it does there, and Jesus Christ, I'm getting close to 4,000 videos. I'm nearly double the amount of subscribers, but that's always been the case with the channel. Low on subscribers, but, you know, high in videos. So I type in part 1, right? I have my name in it. First result is Nintendo Capri Sims LP. I can't remember if I ever watched that, because I remember watching someone else's back in the day. That was 9 years ago, man. He's been on YouTube for a long ass time now. I don't see my part. Oh wait, there it is. 4 years ago. Okay, so it was only double that, I guess. Oh, granted, it may actually be closer to 5 years for all I know. It's only got 71 views. Not surprised. My LPs in general don't really tend to, you know, get the most views. Anyways, where were we? Ah yes, fighting Penance, the big old bell-ended bastard from hell. It's annoying because, you know, it's obvious you gotta focus on Penance, the body of Penance. Screw the arms, you need to take down that. Trouble is, these things gotta go as well, or they will cause you hell. But if you focus primarily on them, they'll regenerate and waste your goddamn time. It's like a no-win situation. It's obviously possible because people have done it. It's just obscene. Fuck you! I mean, I'm going with the Yojimbo strategy here, you know? But it doesn't mean that I can't just, like, you know, just attack him as normal in the meantime. It's like, that's what I remember where I last left off with this. I remember I was farming equipment in the arena. I was hoping to get, like, the best equipment, but it's slow business, you know, very slow business. Trying to get dark matter because it's a rare drop for the bosses in the arena, and it's just so goddamn tedious. It takes forever. Even when you're overpowered, it still takes a little while now. I bet Yojimbo isn't even gonna bother. He's like, yeah, I'll just use the weaker attack because why not? Trouble is, because it's been so goddamn long, I can't remember how much I paid the guy last time. So I don't know how much to increase it by. Because you don't just give him an obscene amount of money right off the bat. It doesn't work that way. You gotta gradually increase it to get it to be a bit more consistent. What? Why'd you just do it right off the bat? Look. I didn't pay you yet. Oh god, that was a disaster. Why did you do that? I didn't pay you to do that. Maybe it's because I grand summoned. That probably what happened. And Jesus Christ, Yojimbo, the baddest warrior in all the land, just got one-shot. Jesus Christ, what even was the point? Right, the next battle, because there's no way I'm winning this. Gonna have to, you know, I mean, look at that, freaking Walker. That's another thing, right? You could get all the dark matter and make yourself immune to most things. But there's like, you know, you gotta have other stuff as well, like auto haste maybe, you know, even like auto regen. You know, you gotta pick and choose, you know, and it's always a pain in the ass. How about we haste up here, simply so I can get Orin off the field here. Well, could have just done that with Yuna now that I think about it. Whatever. Blitz Ace I think does the most. Yeah, but we're not gonna win, so might as well go all out. Fuck you! It doesn't even do consistently good damage because Titus, for whatever reason, stats kind of suck even though they're overpowered. Well, right at the last second, not even the last second, it was past the last second, but it still somehow worked. I don't know what actually influences the, you know, the attack power, because it's definitely more to it than just having a high strength stat, or in this case a maxed out strength stat. Other stats obviously must come into play. But I haven't quite figured that out, you know. In all the ridiculous time I've played this bloody game. Penance obliterates! I mean, that's what this is. We're facing Exodia, man. You can't beat Exodia. Not when all his limbs are on the field here. And look at this shit. He's already cast the regen. This is what you don't want to ever see ever happen. Because it will freaking mean disaster. Because you gotta waste a turn. The freaking, you know, where is it? Dispel that shit, and you can only do it to one. And look, the freaking armor breakers and shit, it's freaking ridiculous. It's like, that's what I hate about bosses like this, you know? It's like they can do everything, literally everything. I thought Riku had the auto life. I guess she must have got hit by something, I guess. Maybe it was Curse. I forget which one negates it. But, it sucks nonetheless. What was I saying? Yeah, it's annoying how bosses have these super stupid stats, these stupid and freaking immunities. Meanwhile, you've got a freaking level cap of HP, MP, and all the other stats. Meanwhile, the boss can just do whatever the fuck it wants and you can't do shit to it because it's got a lot of health, it can hit hard. it can, take a lot of a beating, and it can cancel out everything. It can do status shit to you, but you can't do status shit back. It's unfair. That's not freaking nice, game. Could make... I mean, this would be a fair fight if we could do that, It's like, just limit it a bit, Make it like, either last less amount of time, to cast shit. Like, they could cast it off, but you could, like, make them waste a turn or something. Or, just simply have it as, like, a rare chance of, like, inflicting on the stat phase. At least something. Give us a shot, god damn it. Fuck you! We're gonna die! I mean, really? Do you just have to have literally the most HP you can possibly get in this game to win on subsequent boss? Because this does not look possible to me. Fighting Penance is like bashing your head repeatedly against a wall. You're just not gonna get anywhere doing that. You can't brute force it. It's like I remember like seeing people like talking about stuff like, oh yeah, people who do no spear grids, runs of the game and all that. And the only bosses, whether they have trouble with that, would be, like Penance. And I'm like, how the hell would you even do that at all? Like, would you be able to defeat the Dark Aeons without using the spear grid? I don't know how that even work. How the hell would people do that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, strategy certainly comes into play, but if you're ridiculously underpowered, I don't know how the hell you'd manage that. I mean, maybe they do brute force it and just like... I don't know. I have no idea. Right, let's try this one more time. This time around, no grand summoning. None of that shit, because it didn't work.
You're counting on you, kid.
Yojimbo just came in and he was Wakasashi or wherever the hell he was, and that was it. And then he dies. Because of course.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
This is like the ultimate roadblock, man. It's no wonder why. It's 2 years in the making is this fight. Spanning 5, was it 5 parts I think now? I think it was 4 parts previously, I checked. Penance, you are, just, I mean, does there exist a boss in the entire series that's more overpowered than this bullshit? I mean, granted, I've only really played Final Fantasy 8, 9, and 10. I played a bit of 12 back in the day, and I played the the DS remake of Final Fantasy 3. That was a hard as fuck game as well, because it's definitely early days for Final Fantasy there series, because that's one thing I've noticed about Final Fantasy series. It's like when I read up on the stories of the earlier ones, it's like first one started it all, second one, where a pattern starts to form briefly, is where it kind of becomes a lot more story driven, and the third one kind of feels more like a jumbled kind of, feels like there's like stuff to do but not necessarily a strong storyline. And then the fourth one comes in and has the best story in the series up to that point. And then the fifth one comes in, doesn't have as strong a story as 4, and seems a bit more kind of similar to Final Fantasy 3 in a way. It's like oddly numbered. But then Final Fantasy 6 comes in, once again one-ups, is like, oh yeah, we got biggest cast, we got a plot that rivals I don't know, but it's a good one, right? I actually played Final Fantasy 6, and there was one section where I just got stuck because I couldn't freaking figure out the input, even though the game seemed to make it obvious, but I couldn't figure out, so I didn't get very far. I mean, the first I got was that octopus boss. I can't remember what happened there. I think I got defeated, and I hadn't saved in a while, so it's just like, I can't be arsed. But anyways, that game is considered one of the, if not the best by some fans. And then, after that, where shit really picks up, you got Final Fantasy 7, and that's where, you know, the fan favorite tends to come in. I've played Final Fantasy 7 as well, but only briefly. I didn't get to the end of Disc 1, I played quite a bit of it, but I couldn't quite get into it. That's the trouble, you know, with playing a game like that. Years after all the hype around the game and all that. So there's great expectations if you've never played a game like that. And they just didn't quite live up to it after playing Final Fantasy 8, 9, and 10. But I also played 12, but, you know, back in the day when I first played Final Fantasy 10 here, I'm going on a ramble here rather than facing Penance, but, you know, at least gives us something different. Let's talk about the Final Fantasy and my experience with it. But, like, back in the day, I played Final Fantasy 10. That was the first game I played in this series. And I knew next to nothing about Final Fantasy. Much in the same way with Persona 4, I knew jack shit about the Persona series as well. So when I played Persona 4, I was like, damn, that was a good-ass game. Yet at the same time, I don't really have as much interest to play the other ones. I've heard they're good, but I don't know. But anyways, back to Final Fantasy here. I was like blown away by this game back in the day. And then when I heard like, oh, there's another game in the series called Final Fantasy 12, it's like, gotta play that shit. And I was kind of disappointed by it. It was not quite the same game, to say the least. The combat was very different, and the characters were flat as all hell. Other than Buff Elio or whatever the guy's name was, nobody really had any life to them. Everyone felt lifeless. It looked great visually, but it was lacking in a lot. And while the music was also okay, it just wasn't quite, you know, Final Fantasy X, was it? And the characters were just meh. I remember that freaking one kid that has this really monotone voice, and I was like, ugh. And the plot, I was like, what even is the plot? It's like, oh yeah, it was some assassination of the king or some shit, and like someone got framed for it, so he's part of the gang, and this protagonist wants to be a pirate, and he meets a pirate who's got personality and is clearly, you know, taking inspiration from Star Wars, but there's no life to it. It's just like all these characters just feel boring. So I couldn't really get into Final Fantasy 12. I got as far as like a tomb area, but that was about it. Beautiful looking game, but it didn't do it for me. Anyways, so that was, that's my experience with the Final Fantasy series. I don't think I've played any other ones in the series. And I know, it feels like a kind of the series started to go downhill, you know, once Square merged with Enix. It's like Final Fantasy X was like the last big hurrah, and then it's kind of been zoop, 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 like not necessarily straight on dive down, but like dip after dip with the occasional resurfacing up the hill, you know? I mean, the one thing that's always bugged me about Final Fantasy series is you've got in the numbered series a freaking MMO. Why would you do that? If you're gonna do a game like that, have it as a spin-off. Don't freaking put it as Final Fantasy 11. That just fucks up the pattern. It was like, that was like a sign right there. It's like, yeah, the Final Fantasy series is gonna kind of take a bit of a nosedive here and there. Final Fantasy 13 wasn't quite well received. Then they did a sequel to that, and I don't think that was as well received either. Is it Final Fantasy 14 was the newer one, or is it 15? I don't even know. I haven't played it. But it just looks like the Final Fantasy series is just not quite what it used to look like. What I've seen. Anyways, let's get on. Fuck you! You know what? No. You know what? If this somehow works, I'm taking some stuff from you, bitch. Summon Yojimbo. Man, if this actually succeeds, it'll feel kind of anticlimactic because I went on a lengthy rant of the Final Fantasy series. You know, continuing on with that rant a little bit though. I remember when I played Final Fantasy VI, I'd like bought it off the PSN, and I'd heard like it's like a different way of hype, right? Final Fantasy 6 and 7. The hype for Final Fantasy 7, I was like, I went into that game thinking it's not gonna live up to expectation because it's so overhyped. In Final Fantasy 6, it was the opposite. I'd heard so many good things about its story and all that, so I was actually kind of bought into the hype, and I just didn't quite do it for me, quite the way I'd expected either. It's like I heard like this one bit with the characters is like, man, it is tragic. This story sounds freaking amazing. But then, while I'm kind of like the old school graphics of, you know, Super Nintendo and kind of style with the sprites, it just felt like some scenes that were like tragic and emotional kind of didn't quite hit the mark from the bits I played of it. So it was a bit odd. Anyways, let's pay Yojimbo about 7,000. I can't remember what I paid you last. I'd have to backtrack through a number of videos to remember that. You know what? Just in case, how about this much? You picked poorly, Wakizashi! Or is it Wakizashi? That's the thing with Japanese. So I learned a bit of Japanese. I've since can't remember much of it, but I remember the alphabets. That's one thing I certainly remember. And the pronunciation of all of them. You only got like certain few sounds. You got the R, the E's, the O's, the A's. E, U, O, E. Was there any other ones? U, O, E, and I can't remember if the. Oh wait, yeah, R as well. There's 5. This fight is impossible. It goes on forever, and you'll never win. No matter what you do, you'll always lose. I feel this is like Chansey in the XD Gale of Darkness LP all over again. At least he's got that going. Good for you, Waka. It doesn't quite sound right switching from that. I was playing in the key of F major, now I'm freaking strumming an E note, which would be the second note. Wait, no, the 7th note actually, so I'd make it like, you know, diminished. But you know, I gotta strum the bloody guitar while playing. For no reason, other than it keeps me partially sane through this ordeal of fighting Penance for the 107th millionth time. I bet there's a trophy in the remake for like remaster for defeating this bastard. It's probably the hardest trophy to get, and probably the one trophy that makes it so that you have a lot of people who go out of their way to try to 100% it and then fail in the end because they couldn't defeat Penance. Or maybe they used the Yojimbo strategy and succeed after multiple tries. Why didn't you revive him, guys? That's another freaking thing. You gotta add that to your freaking collection of abilities, you know? Look how many turns he gets. It's insane. It's just like, oh yeah, right at the end I just play like, oh, that sounds nice, calming chords. I think I remember like, it's like, I don't know, I can't remember what I did. It was like something like, no, I definitely like I said, I've only briefly played Final Fantasy VII, but I know Tifa's theme, sort of. And I remember, like, well, vaguely anyway. And I remember just jamming around and I figured out some of the melody. I can't remember how it went. There was like something where I kind of like just turned the key around on itself. It's like. I was playing something like that, and it was somewhere in there. I don't know. That was ages ago. I can't even remember what I did. It was just while I was playing shit like that, it was like, hey, this sounds somewhat familiar. This is our story. We suck at battle. Penance is a prick, a major prick. Yojimbo, US, cheap ass. You did not defeat him, you cheap. Skate, you're delaying the end of this LP, you prick. Penance. I wonder if I was singing on key at all there. Maybe a bit of it. Maybe all of it. I don't know. That's one thing that's always bothered me. It's like not just not having as much confidence in my singing, despite the fact that I, sing randomly a lot. But like my own songs, it's like if I were to sing my own songs, on top of not having too much confidence in the sound of my voice, it's also like, would I be singing perfectly on key? I'd probably, like, if I recorded that, I'd probably pick up my guitar after the recording and try to figure out the notes that I'm singing, just to make sure it's in key. Like, there, perfect. That's why I like, well, in the New Year montage last year, at the end of the year, I can't believe it's pretty much halfway through the year at this point. This has been a weird ass year. And basically the New Year montage, because I didn't put together Hatsune Miku song in time with her vocals, I just sang a short song at the end myself, which was okay, I suppose. I have to buy that software again at some point, because I still want to at least, make some music there, with Hatsune Miku vocals. I mean, I don't mind, like, singing, maybe a song here and there, why not? But I prefer the New Year songs to have her vocals rather than mine, even though it's a lot more of a pain in the ass to put together now to think about it. But anyways, hope you enjoy this part. I'm not going to record a part immediately after, because that's the thing with Penance, it wears you the fuck out. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go with the original strategy that I had in mind. Whether it be that I somehow set up my old capture card, somehow, because I could probably always set it up, but I can't remember if it came with a disc full of software or not, or maybe it just like installs itself just by putting it in, but I kind of doubt that, but I probably could find the software for it. Either that, or just, using the better capture card here. Even though the quality on this recording seems a bit odd, seems a bit off with some of it, It's like, there's some level of smoothness to it that my old capture card was not capable of, but at the same time, there are like little glitchy blurs here and there, And yeah, it's I mean, it doesn't seem as noticeable as it was for me at the start of the recording. I don't know. There's definitely some blurs going on there on the screen. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So that's basically what I'm probably gonna end up doing, is whether it be the old capture card or the newer one, essentially I will record without commentary fighting Penance. Whether I use the Yojimbo strategy or not doesn't really matter, because all that matters there is that the next part, I don't want to like record the next part and have this play out for the 6th time where we fight Penance and get nowhere, because this is taking the piss at this point, 2 years of this shit. I mean, granted, it's only like the past 2 years there's been like, just 2 videos within like a span of like over a year, really, combined. It's like the first 2 or 3 encounters were all in 2018 with Penance in that battle, so they were right one after the other. I mean, if anyone watches this LP via the playlist, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, man, this is like 5 parts of this shit. It's like, fair enough for anyone like watching the LP, because that's one thing that motivated me to record. I mean, I already kind of felt like recording for Penance 10, because I was like, you know what, I've been putting on a hold for so long, let's finally get around to it. But then I also saw comments asking if I was continuing the LP or not, and that was generally the idea going forward. I wasn't just gonna abandon the LP. It's just that I just couldn't really get the motivation to set up the PS2 and, battle Penance for the billionth time. But essentially that's the plan going forward, is to record but without commentary, and then when I eventually defeat the bastards, one way or another, then I'll put post-commentary in, and then we can finally bloody move on to the plot at long last. The only reason this part's going to be, a part rather than what I originally said at the start is simply because, I ran on like rambles and shit. It's like maybe there's some entertainment value out of this video out of it. I don't know. And also, it also states what we gotta do there as well. And also, one idea for it is, another thing, is that when I do eventually, hopefully defeat that son of a bitch at some point, then, like, it won't immediately be like, oh yeah, that part gets immediately uploaded. What my current idea is for that part going onwards right to the end, all that recorded in advance before uploading continues for the LP. That's kind of been the idea, so that, I could get it all done, and then it'd be all ready for upload instead of just having these wide gaps of time where it's like, what happened to the LP, I mean, when I defeat Yojimbo, that won't really matter, because, it's just smooth sailing after that. Final boss ain't got shit on Yojimbo. Not Yojimbo Penance. Well, Yojimbo could even one-shot the final boss if he could freaking be in the mood. That's one thing I might do off-screen as well as, fighting Penance, is leading up to the Penance fight, whenever I get around to it, is, testing Yojimbo out in battles, just to gauge what payment he's satisfied with at this point, and then fight the bastards, and then hit the record button, and if it doesn't succeed, I just remove the recording and start over at a later point. That's the idea. Anyways, we're gonna go on to an hour at this point, so let's wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed this clusterfuck of a part of a clusterfuck of an LP. I'll see you in the next part, whenever I record that, hopefully when like not quite the same gap as last time. Because seriously, I would suck donkey balls. It's just that it's a pain in the ass to set up for recording, and I'd need to do that as well as on top of fighting Penance. But we'll see how it goes. See you next time, viewers. See you next time.